y'all?
We're back with something brand new because we are led to you. And this video is going to be a little different, okay?
A little different.
So before we get into the video, we just want to give you an intro about what is going to be going on, okay? So not today, but you're going to see an interview that we did with, I'm going to say one of our friends, but mainly mine, okay? My friend Shelby Bryant. I met her over the summer. Now I understand quarantine. You met a friend.
How did you do that?
Listen. 2020 has a lot of downs, but it's also been a blessing for me to be able to meet her through Elevation Church, their youth conference.
Shout out to them.
Youth X 2020, amazing. They did a 72-hour stream. And then they had little groups where they would meet after the sermons. And I signed, well, I was low-key forced by my parents, but it was something that we wanted to do. But my mom was just like, no, you guys got to do it. And I was able to meet a group, and one of the people that stood out was Shelby, right? She's this girl who's on fire for God. Like, what is she? She's 17, a senior in high school, and just loves Jesus. She is a prayer warrior. And I was like, oh, I could be friends with her. Been friends with her for a couple months, and it's been amazing. She has an amazing story, and we just wanted to be able to share it with you all, because sometimes you're kind of like, oh, we get it. Monique and Malachi, they're pastors' kids.
We get your story. You know, but to hear from somebody else, it brings a different experience, a different perspective on stuff. So stay tuned, honestly.
If you're a teenager or not, watch it, okay? You're gonna hear all of it. If you are in a relationship, there might be some relationship tips, friendship, because you know that's something that we always talk about.
Personal tips in your walk with Christ.
If things you're struggling with family, with insecurities, just stay tuned, because it's going to be amazing. So we hope you enjoy. All right, so we want to thank you guys for tuning into this very special interview. You already know who this person is by the intro, but
by our introduction, you know, the special clip that we made for this young lady. But we wanted to say thank you as we are in this interview, saying thank you for, you know, you not having us, because we're having you on, which is weird. Help me out, sis.
We want to thank you for just coming and being willing to share your story, to share your testimony, to hopefully inspire so many teens and so many people out there. So first, how's your day going?
It's been good. Very good.
Very good. How's life going in this pandemic?
It's been a struggle, kind of up and down, roller coaster most of the time.
I don't know if they know, but I know you're a senior and getting ready to go to college. How's that whole experience going?
Yeah, it's a lot different than what I expected, for sure. I'm having to learn how to let go of my expectations and my dreams, or what I thought would be reality, and how to accept what really is reality.
Yeah, that's good. So, I mean, if you don't peep the shirts, we all had to wear shirts for the special occasion.
You know, it's new. You know, we got our new glasses on.
Oh, yeah, new glasses.
With the chain. You know, we're just trying to show out. You know, we're just trying to be.
If you want these shirts, it comes in black and white, and the link will be in the description down below. All right, so let's just jump in. This is going to be, I guess, you already saw in the intro, but how to be Christian, how to be a Christian teen amidst family struggles.
Or through adversity, problems in this world. So we're going to get straight into it.
So in order to talk about it, we got to go to the beginning.
Yeah, so we can understand, you know, what you're talking about. So
we want to go on this journey.
Yeah, we want to go on this roller coaster ride with you. My hands is in the air. I'm ready to scream. All right.
So let's start from the beginning. What was it like growing up?
I would say it's not your typical Christian story, I guess. I know you guys are pastors' kids, and so church was a normal occasion for you guys. But for me, it was something that I had to choose for myself, even from day one. The only way I would really go to church is if I asked my Nana and Papa to take me with them. Those are my grandparents. And so it was a very personal decision from the beginning in my relationship and my walk with Christ.
So I know you said that you had to ask. So didn't they didn't like just take you to church. You had to ask willingly, like, hey, can you take me to church so I can go to my
Yeah.
Sunday school?
So how I
Yeah.
guess okay, go.
I would say the best thing that my family did for me was sending me to a private Christian school from kindergarten to fourth grade. So that did give me that foundation even when I wasn't in church on Sundays. Um, but to be able to go to church on Sundays, I would stay the night with my grandparents and then get up and go to church with them and go to their Sunday school. And it was a very traditional Baptist church. And so singing the hymns and most of the time, like coloring on the little offering tabs that they give out to you, sometimes falling asleep, but we won't talk about that.
Gotta talk about that. We don't gotta talk about so you said hymns. What was your favorite hymn that you heard?
I don't know. There were so many. There were so many that I heard from school, and then a lot that I heard from my Nana's church. One of my favorites is "It Is Well with My Soul." That one I like a lot. So I like to see contemporary artists bringing in like older style hymns because that's what I was first introduced to.
One of my favorites, well, I guess because I'm learning it on the piano, How Great Thou Art. I don't know if you heard of that.
Yes.
I like that one.
Yeah, that one's really good.
There's so many hymns, that fits my, my arsenal. That's in my arsenal. That even makes sense.
No.
That did not make sense. I like It As Well with My Soul, honestly. I would say
That's
that's
a
one
good
of my
one.
favorites. But when I think of hymns, I think of just like deacons just rocking and singing hymns with the mic, I don't know why that's my image. It's weird. But yeah, but I know you said that, you went to school that gave you this, the foundation of, your Christian walk because you didn't go to church every Sunday, right? So was that like hard? Did that like kind of like hurt your Christian walk, by not going to church every Sunday?
Yeah, I would say definitely, especially as I got older and as I walked into middle school, it being the first time I was in a public school and being exposed to the crazy world and trying to figure out myself and my new friends and all the things. And so then I decided to start attending a youth group every Wednesday. And so that's what I did through sixth and seventh grade, which broadened my idea of Christianity and was really when I first learned worship and contemporary worship and found those moments with God on my knees or lifting my hands in worship. And so that was really awkward for me at first to step into that, not knowing anybody at these youth groups and just trying to find a group of friends. Like that has been, I know, same with you, Mo, like one of my hardest challenges in life so far is to find a group of friends who are as passionate and as on fire for God as I am and who want to hold me accountable in my walk with Christ.
I know. If someone said I never had a problem with finding Christian friends, I would just be like,
you lying.
Everyone, I'm sure, has some type of problem with finding someone who is kind of alike in their walk or has on fire for God as they are. So I know that's a struggle for us.
I mean, cause you like so close, they go to church. Yes, that's way better. I didn't go to church, but now you're not even living like it. You're not even living like a Christian. Man, I was so close, but yet so far. But then when you're gonna everybody's gonna have to go through that phase of tests and trials and friendships. But then there's gonna be that people like you and Monique, you guys are both Christians, both on fire for God. I love God. You're just gonna have to keep going. And
and it took 16 years to get here.
It took 16 years, but hey, but listen, that is better than, this is better than that whole past experience. Yeah. So sometimes it takes time to get to really what God has in plan or in store for you.
So we were talking a little bit about, so we know your Nana and Papa were clutch for bringing you to church. Clutch. Okay. Mm-hmm. So what does your family, I guess, look like? Explain kind of the family dynamic.
So my mom and dad are still together I have an older sister that is my half sister, but she's always lived with us, so she's just like my sister. And then I have a younger brother and a younger sister. And so my older sister, from what I can remember the most, is she always just kind of did her own thing. She didn't really care about being involved with us. She's not a believer. Um, and so she didn't help like foster me or disciple me in my growth. So that's a big opportunity that I've realized that I have over my younger siblings, that I try to take as much as possible, just sharing the word of God with them, praying with them, playing some worship music. Like I got my brother who's in 8th grade to start watching church with me during quarantine, and then he joined the E group, and now he's talking about wanting to be baptized. And so it's just been so cool to see how, like, for me, when I was alone and didn't really have like the support that I felt like I needed from my family, now I can be that light and that support for them. And so my mom is a part-time nurse. My dad is a full-time salesman, and so my dad wasn't at home very much. He was traveling a lot. And when he was home, um it wouldn't be the greatest experiences. He just has some pent up hurt and anger, and so he would let that out on us. And I mean, I know he always tried to be his best self, and that he was a strong Christian at heart too, because his grandma had taken him to church. But all these experiences from his life had shaped him into this person with a hardened heart, so it was hard for him to live like Christ. And so that's another thing that most people don't really know, is I've had to choose to stay consistent in my faith, even seeing someone who declares God as Lord, but then doesn't walk it out. And so not allowing that church hurt to define God, because he can't be defined by our standards of people or be limited to a personality of someone.
Wow. Yeah, I definitely want to come back to that hurt. But I know with you, you are a great big sister of always trying to I guess invite God into kind of show God to your younger siblings. And I know you were telling me so many stories about how you took them to Disneyland. So like, what is one memory that sticks out from you from your childhood?
Yeah, ponder on this.
I don't know. Yeah, this one's hard. We took lots of trips to Disney actually, and those were just my favorite. Like that's one of the things that I really liked about my family, because we go like every other year. And so I've been about like 9 times now, and I just love it. And it's like a place that I can kind of get away from whatever's going on and just like immerse myself into that atmosphere.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland one time when we were like 5, but us in theme parks do not have a good relationship.
Gosh. What's our good moment as a child?
Well, I know when we went to Knott's Berry Farm, one roller coaster, it was a wrap. Yeah. We went to Universal Studios. We were scared.
I did the Mummy ride. I had a panic attack.
We did the dinosaur ride.
What is it called? What's the Jurassic Park ride?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Scared of that one.
With so many, I can't do theme parks, but now I can. Now, when you guys go to Disney again, you guys can.
They go to Disney World, right? Disney World, right?
Disney World.
Yeah, Disney World.
Yeah, they're more. You guys elevated.
You're elevated. We're still on the baby level. Disneyland can't even get past the entrance because we're too scared. We feel it though.
Okay, what is a good memory? I guess just.
No, because it's like I would say like just spending the quality time with our family, because we don't usually go out and do like vacations, all that stuff. I mean, if we do, we do it, but I would just say like spending quality time, whether it's playing games, whether it's just sitting around the table, or just being in the living room, just talking, laughing. I would say
that's where a lot of good things happen, when we're just chilling on the couch. That's where a lot of jokes happen and a lot of craziness happens. So I would say those kind of are the good memories from our childhood.
Why are we saying childhood like we ain't?
Oh, well, because
children?
I got 2 years and then I'm a legal adult.
If I got 2 more years, I'm gonna start.
I only got 3 months, y'all. So
I know.
I get it. I mean, but we're both high schoolers, me and you, so we're on the same
for
page
long,
here.
okay.
We're on the same page
Not
here.
yeah,
I get it.
Long. So
what are some?
Wait, you said?
Oh, I was gonna ask, what are some traditions or like things that your family would kind of require y'all to do that you really value and that you want to implant into your families one day? Like whether it be game night or always gathering for prayer in the morning. Like what are some things for me and for other people who didn't necessarily grow up in a Christian household? Like what are some things that you guys have done?
I would say for the game nights, I am like the one that's like, we gotta play a game. They're sick and tired of it because I dress up in a suit, I get my chain on, I put my socks in and I start dancing because I'm the game host. But I would say that, but also doing Bible studies. We do Bible studies on every Wednesday, or we try to, because my parents work and all that stuff and they can be tired, but we do Bible studies and, just as a whole family, just sitting around and just talking about the word of God, because, you can't be a Christian household, and not talk about him at all, like with your family. So I would say, doing that I want to do for my children, for my, family, to make sure we talk about God and do Bible studies and stuff like that.
Yeah. For me, I don't know if it's like a tradition or something, but I think my parents they just like to talk to us. They wanted to spend that quality time.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they went to work well, actually my mom, she did not go to work for the longest because she wanted to be there at home with us, and she wanted to raise us and not let the school system raise us or let other people raise us. She felt that we were her responsibility, so she stayed home and she really poured into us the values, I guess, that she believed or that the Bible said was right. And so I guess I think that of really spending that quality time with their children or with my children, and to really be able to pour Christ into them. And obviously it's their own decision, but I want them to have that firm foundation of Christ so that it would be easier for them to make that decision, and they won't have to be like going searching deep hard, like who is Christ, like, because they will already know.
I have gum.
That's awkward. Okay.
But yeah.
So we're talking about children and everything. So I guess, when did you? I'm pretty sure you probably given your life to Christ when you were younger, going to the Christian school. But like for real, we'd be giving life to Christ, but for real,
like when did you get serious
about God?
Yeah, so I accepted Christ in first grade, and I would say I probably started really living for him right after I turned 16, or right before I turned 16, after a toxic relationship that I had walked through. And so I had really just come to the end of myself and realized that I needed God, and God was all that I had, but that was all that I needed, and that I didn't want anything that was outside of his will, because I had tried that and it had left me so empty. And so being able to have that wholeness and fullness of Christ meet me in that moment when I didn't love myself, when I felt like no one else loved me, hearing God speak words of affirmation over me and reminding me that I'm still his daughter and that he still loves me and that he still sent Jesus to die for my sins and he separated my sins from me.
Yeah. So you said a little bit before 16, that's like less than 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, a little bit more than 2 years. Yeah.
Okay. I don't know. My math is not working.
Yeah.
It's a day off.
Yeah, we're not school right now.
And so when you started to get serious, was your family supportive in that, knowing that they're not really heavy into the whole Christian thing? Were they supportive of your decision?
Yeah, they've always been supportive, and I would say they desire that. Like, I know that it's a desire of my mom's to be established in the church and for us to be Christian, but it's just not like walked out. Like, she doesn't really know how to walk it out in her own life, and so to help other people walk it out in their lives. But I would definitely say like they supported me, and now I go to Elevation, which is how you and I met, Mo, through eGroup, and I started watching as EFAM when I was in 8th grade, and so I watched for about 3.5, 4 years as EFAM, and then I finally told my mom, I was like, I need to go to one of these campuses, and it was before I could really drive myself because the closest one is 40 minutes away, and but I was like, I need to be a part of this move of God in person, and so I got myself involved. Um, I started going to Elevation University City, and I knew that that was home. Like I could just feel it. I hadn't felt like that in any church. We had always been like church hoppers. Like we had never been consistent in a church. We wouldn't consistently try a church every Sunday. It would just be like, okay, like, well, I guess since we're already up, we'll go to church. But it wasn't like, okay, let's get up, let's get ready for church. It wasn't a disciplined routine. And of course, you don't want to just be going through the motions, but also it should be a priority. And so my boyfriend and I, Ethan, started going to Elevation University City by ourselves. And my family has some differing views about Elevation because they haven't really experienced it up close. And it's really one of those churches where you have to get involved, or you are just going to feel kind of like, okay, well, do they know who I am as a person because it's such a big church? And I would say once I got involved, which was not even a month later, I could feel that connection, and I started making these friendships, and I started volunteering in eKids, and my boyfriend started volunteering on the parking team, and that's when our growth for God really, I guess, set a fire behind us because we have people supporting us and people keeping us accountable, and we would know every Sunday, like we would go and people would be asking us about how we were or how our faith was and that kind of stuff. So
now I know you said something about Ethan, which is my guy. If you're watching
Shout
this,
out to Ethan.
what's up, man? So I know that he's a believer of Christ, and I know you're a believer of Christ. So does that kind of make it easier in your walk with Christ? Like you said, like knowing that you have somebody by your side that believes in God, that is walking the same faith that you're walking. I mean, not the same exact, because you're different, but like, is it easier to know that he's on walk with Christ and you're on a walk with Christ? Because sometimes it can be lonely if we're doing it by ourselves.
All right. So you guys just seen the first part. I know you're like, oh, this cliffhanger. Hey, you're gonna have to wait until part 2 to come out in a few days. But we hope you got something from it. We hope you enjoyed. And so Malachi, what can the people do while they're waiting for part 2?
I want you guys to please
like, comment, subscribe, and turn on those post notifications so that you can get notified every time we post another. I can never remember. Every time we post another video. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you stay tuned for part 2.
Which is going to be dropping out in a couple of days. We ain't going to let you wait for a whole week for it.
No, it'll be in a couple of days. So Malachi, while they're waiting, what else can they do?
I want you guys to please be fresh. Oh my gosh. Be blessed. Okay? And especially do your best. We're out. Let's get it.